Cuck, short for cuckold, is a 13th century insult to men that means you aren't satisfying enough in bed, so your lover has gone elsewhere. It's thought to have come from cuckoo because some species of female cuckoo birds mate with multiple males and lay their eggs in other birds' nests. There aren't definitive reasons why, but cuckold is also connected to goats and bulls in certain parts of the world. A hand gesture like this one with goat or bull horns non-verbally communicates you're a cuckold, which is supposed to sting specifically heterosexual men for two reasons: inadequacy and insecurity. Calling someone a cuckold points out that his sexual abilities aren't keeping the wife pleased and she's wandered off to be with other men. Since 13th century women were treated like property, feelings of inadequacy were attached to property management as well as sexual performance. Insecurity comes up because the cuckold typically doesn't know about the adultery until he's insulted. So there's a jab to his sex life, a jab to his masculinity, a jab to his responsibilities, and a jab to his intellect. That's cuckold, cuckoldry, cuck, cucky, cucked. Today these words are still used, but in slightly different ways. One, mainly as a political insult, and two, a desirable sexual fantasy or act in which one's partner is being pleased by others. Let's talk about them both. The insult. When someone these days is called a cuck, cuck liberal, or conservative, the intent is emasculating political slander, not necessarily a literal reference to one's partner cheating. Various groups, from white supremacists to late night talk show hosts, use cuck to cut at each other, and as a result the word has become very popular. John McDermott's article explains this and shows the upward trend of cuck as we got closer to the election. Cucking the sexual desire is mostly outside political spheres, in places like porn sites, Craigslist classifieds, kink and fetish community forums where men can find other men to have sex with their wives and girlfriends because they get off on being cuckolded. Here are some theories on why this is one of the most sought out paraphilias of our time. One, it's a form of masochism. Masochism is sexual arousal from having pain inflicted upon you. Sometimes that's being whipped, other times that's being called names. In the cuckoldry dynamic, the cuckold is a masochist. He's seeking emotional pain and humiliation from infidelity. He's turned on by agony. Number two, biological charge. Evolutionary biologist Robin Baker theorizes that if a man thinks there's competition for his partner's egg, he will produce more sperm than usual to increase the likelihood that he's the one fertilizing it. It's also thought that the man's erections become harder and his ejaculations become more powerful. 3. Counterphobia. Basically, some people go toward what they're afraid of as a way of taking control over the fear. In the case of cuckoldry, seeking out the infidelity so that the terrorizing thoughts of it actually become the agenda. 4. Compersion. The pleasurable feelings of your partner being pleasured by a better lover. Note, many people into the cuckold fantasy will masturbate while watching or listening to someone else pleasure their partner. 5. Intellectualism. Just like the rush people get from running a marathon, some cuckolds get a rush from the mental marathon of trying to outsmart primal jealousy and rage. What do you think? Does cucking seem like a thrill or a threat? How do you think cuck the insult affects human sexuality? Did you learn something new about the cuckoo bird? Let us know in the comments and subscribe to stay curious.